All right, so as you guys mentioned in your project, climate is dependent on the greenhouse effect. Without the greenhouse effect, Earth would be too cold for people to live on Earth. So it's actually a good thing. The problem is that we've emitted excess greenhouse gases, such as water. I'm going to point to water right here as a greenhouse gas. And this is leading to excessive warming. So what we call global warming. H2O, I should say. All right, so let's go over this diagram. The sun's rays come down. I'm going to get yellow, if I could open the colors. Well, they come down as UV. Please write the word UV rays. Okay? So the sun's rays come down as UV rays, and then they're reflected back up, and we're going to change this arrow to red. They're reflected back up as infrared rays or heat rays. Infrared. So put IR. Coming back up from Earth. So when they come down as UV. When they go back up, they go back as infrared rays of heat. What happens is these rays of heat, when they go back up, if there's a greenhouse gas, they get re-radiated back to Earth, warming Earth, when they're supposed to actually be taken back up to the atmosphere. So UV rays come down, that's the green arrow. They're reflected from Earth as infrared heat rays. They're supposed to go back out into space because they already warmed Earth somewhat. But the greenhouse gases, in this case right here, water, make the rays bounce back to Earth, causing warming. And that is the process known as the greenhouse effect. So as I mentioned earlier, without Earth or the greenhouse effect, Earth would be inhabitable. That means we couldn't live here. And here's the word re-radiate. Re-radiate means go back down to Earth. So the rays are supposed to go out into space because we know energy gets lost, but instead it gets pushed back down to Earth by the greenhouse gases. So biggest problems with global warming or the greenhouse effect, which leads to warming on Earth. We're going to see a significant rise in sea levels. There's a quote, our sea levels have risen worldwide approximately 4.8 inches. Which could lead to what if sea levels rise? Okay, it could cause severe weather. Good, I'm going to write that. What else? Don't overthink it. Sea levels rise. It also leads to floods. And we're all hungry. All right, so other problems associated with global warming. Obviously, the Earth is warming. Temperatures have warmed between 1 and 1.7 degrees, and that might seem insignificant, but it is a lot. I'll tell you that whatever debate there is about global warming, in 2007, there's a panel against climate change, and the reason it renamed is because the warming of Earth leads to all climate issues. So it's not that the name was hiding the warming of Earth. It's that it's bigger than just the warming of Earth. Climate is affected greatly because of the warming of Earth. And they all agree that global average air and ocean temperatures, or they all agree that there is evidence of global warming, and that because of this we're going to have melting of snow, ice, rising of sea levels, and changes in air and circulation patterns. So that's where the word climate kicks in. And here is a picture of our Earth's climate in the past 400,000 years. And you see they're comparing CO2 levels to temperature. And if I take and I literally cut that piece off and lay them one on top of another, they're correlated. As temperatures rise, CO2 levels rise. Now, where's the big debate? A lot of people think the temperature rising leads to CO2, and they're right. Because as temperatures rise, more ice melts, and in the ice is carbon dioxide, and it's emitted. As temperatures rise, permafrost melts. Remember that? From the tundra? And the permafrost is like soil, and soil has methane. So methane is released, which is a greenhouse gas. So the hotter it gets, the more greenhouse gases are emitted, the more warmer it's going to get. That's called a positive feedback loop. Here's just more graphs. And here's an overall description of the effects of global warming. We're going to have a lot of investment in money to deal with either severe weathers or the rise in sea levels. Again, extreme weather, yeah, or global warming in general. Like, here's flooding, melting of ice caps. You're also, because of severe weather, you're going to have droughts, believe it or not. And we're experiencing severe droughts throughout the world. So there's going to be a lack of water.